So hello guys. So today I'll start the lecture number 7 of day 7 that includes the stability and stable and unstable system. So today's topic is stable and unstable system. Stable and unstable system. So stable and unstable system means the system which will give the stability property or which will follow the stability property is known stable system. And the system which doesn't follow the stability property of the system, that system is known as unstable system. So first of all, I have to know what do you mean by stability property. Stability property of system. So in the stability property, we have to check whether the system will give the bounded output from bounded input or not. If the input is bounded and the output is unbounded, then the system will not follow the stability property. And the input, if the input is bounded and as well as the output which I will get from the system is also bounded, then only the system will follow the stability property, or I can say the system is stable system. Okay, so suppose this is a signal. This is a sinusoidal signal. And there is another signal. This one. These two are the output from any kind of system. So see, the output of the system is bounded in a particular limit. But in this case, the output is not bounded in a particular limit. So I can say this is bounded, and this is unbounded. So their system is known as stable system. Stable system, and this system is known as unstable system. So to be a stable system, my input is bounded, but my output should also be bounded. For stable system, input must be bounded as well as output also bounded. And in case of for unstable system, the input may be bounded or unbounded, but output always unbounded. So this is the main basic criteria for a system to be called a stable system or unstable system. So now let us say this is the basic diagram of the system. And this system occupies an input signal and output signal. So if the input is bounded and it will gives a bounded output, then this system is known as stable system. Otherwise, it is unstable system. And always we will check the stability of the system by using unit step system or unit step signal. Sorry. We have to consider the unit step signal to check whether the system is stable or unstable. So for checking stability of a system, we have to consider an unit step system signal, that is u of t for continuous time signal and un for discrete time signal. Okay. So now, how to check the stability of the system? So steps to check stability of a system. So first of all, let us say y of t equal to x of t. That is, input is x of t. Input is x of t. It undergoes through a system and it will give y of t. So now I have to consider x of t with respect to a unit step signal. So first of all, I have to assume let x of t equal to y of t. Then instead of x of t, I have to put y of t. Sorry, u of t. So y of t is x of t. So I assume x of t equal to u of t. So y of t equal to u of t. And u of t, you know, the diagram of u of t is like this. So I can say this output is bounded in between 0 to 1. Obviously, greater than 0, in greater t equal to greater than 0. So this signal is known as, or this system is known as stable system. Okay. By this method, I have to check whether the system is stable or unstable. So let us take an example. So I'm giving example 1. So it is given y of n equal to x square n. So check whether this system is stable or unstable. So first of all, I have to go through the first step. Let us say x of n equal to u of n. Since this is a discrete time signal, so instead of x of t, I am saying x of n, and instead of u of t, I am writing u of n. So by putting the value of x of n in this equation, I will get u square n, or you can say u of n whole square. So its value is nothing but u of n, because u of n equal to 1 for n greater than equal to 0. So 1 square is always give you 1. So 1 square always give you u of n. So since y of n is a bounded signal, that means from x square n, this is the input, x square n, this is the input, and I will get y of n, and y of n itself is a bounded signal. So this bounded input is giving a bounded output. So I can say y of n equal to x square n is a stable system. Stable system. Okay. Now move to another example. Example 2. That is given y of t equal to 2 x square t. So stable or unstable. So again, I have to follow the steps. That is, first of all, x of t, let us say x of t equal to u of t, since this is a discrete time signal. So instead of x of t in the equation of the system, I can write 2 into a square t. Okay, so or 2 into t whole square. So this u of t whole square or u square t will gives you u of t because 1. So it will becomes 2 of u of t. So this is also bounded. Its amplitude 2, but it is bounded in between 0 to 2. So I can say y of t equal to 2x square t is stable system. Stable system. So now again move to another example. X of 3. Sorry, example 3. Y of t equal to integration over x of t dt. So now if this kind of problem is given, then its solution also I have to follow the steps. X of t let x of t equal to y of t. Okay, and y of t is nothing but a x of t equal to u of t, and now put the value of x of t in this equation y of t. So integration over u of t dt. So u of t is 0 to t, let us say t, 0 to t. Okay, so now let us say its value is 0 to t. I have to bound. Okay, so now what will be the value? U of t equal to 1. So t dt value assume this. If you are not going to give this limitation, then also okay. I can simply write y of t equal to integration over u of t dt. And since u of t equal to 1, so it will gives you integration dt. So this is t. So y of t equal to t. That is nothing but your ramp signal. And ramp signal is not bounded because at each point of the value of t, the output is changing. So I can't say it is bounded. So this is unbounded system. So I can say since this is unbounded, because bounded x of t is bounded because x of t equal to y, u of t. Bounded input is giving unbounded output. So I can say this system is unstable system. Okay. Now this is how you can check whether the system is stable or unstable. Similarly, there is a trick. Okay. If the problem is whenever you will get a very large equation or very long equation, then it is very hard to put each and every values in of x of t, and in place of x of t you have to put y of u of t. So the calculation part may be more complex. So there is a trick. What is the trick? According to the trick, you have to find out the poles of the system, and to calculate the poles in future class or upcoming class I will discuss how to find out the poles and zero. Now you just know how the poles are very important to find out the stability or instability of the system. So poles has to be found, has to be calculated, and if all the poles are lying on the negative side or right hand side of the scale, then the system is known stable system. Suppose in a system, given system, if any pole is situated in the right hand side of the scale or in the positive axis of x, then that system will be unstable. Unstable. So no need to calculate all these things, that putting the value of x, y, u of t in place of x of t, you just calculate the poles of the system. And if all the poles are lying in the left hand side of the scale, then it is stable system. And if not, then it is known as unstable system. And one more thing, if any poles is lying on the margin, that is y-axis, then this system is known as marginally stable system. Okay, so from this stability verification, you will get 1 or 2 types questions in your any kind of competitive exam as well as semester exam. So that much for today. Next class, I will discuss about system modeling, and with that, I will discuss about the analysis, time domain analysis of discrete time system. Okay, so that much for today. Okay, thank you all.